Have you ever walked away from a negotiation, a meeting, even just a simple conversation and felt like you lost, but you couldn't quite put your finger on why? Well, today, we are cracking open the playbook of the world's most elite negotiators to find that answer. We are talking about a tactical blueprint straight from the FBI.
So, let's get right to it. Here's the single biggest reason you might be losing negotiations. You're trying to be logical. You're bringing a calculator to a fist fight. You see, every single human interaction is driven by a conflict that has almost nothing to do with the facts and figures you've prepared. In this image, right here, perfectly illustrates the problem. Think of your brain like this. You've got the writer, which is your rational, logical mind. And then you have the elephant, which is pure emotion, a 5-ton beast. Now, when that elephant gets spooked or angry or scared, guess who has zero control? The writer. Most of us try to argue with the other person's writer. But the true master negotiator, their one and only job is to calm the elephant.
Okay, so if logic is the wrong tool, where do we find the right one? Well, we find it in the highest stakes arena imaginable. We're talking about FBI hostage negotiations, where a single wrong word can literally be the difference between life and death.
This comes directly from Chris Voss, the FBI's former lead international kidnapping negotiator. And let me be clear, these aren't just theories from some dusty textbook. These are battle-hardened techniques proven to work under the most intense pressure you can imagine. The core idea is simple. To influence someone, you first have to understand them on an emotional level.
The FBI's secret weapon for this is a tool called tactical empathy. Now, don't get this twisted. This is not about sympathy. It's not about being nice or agreeing with them. It's a calculated, conscious skill. It's about getting a read on the emotional weather inside the other person's head so you can navigate it and influence their decisions right where they happen, in their gut.
But here's the thing. Just knowing about these powerful FBI tools isn't enough. It's like someone handing you a box of advanced surgical instruments with zero training. You'll just make a mess. To actually use these tools effectively, especially under pressure, you need a system. And that's why we're going to organize everything we learned today using a simple but incredibly powerful master framework.
This framework, developed by Sir Abid Ali Shahid, gives us a crystal clear path for every technique we'll cover. First, we'll learn what it is, then how to actually use it. We'll dive into why it works on a psychological level, and finally, when to pull it out of your toolkit in a real conversation. This is our roadmap from just knowing to mastering.
All right, let's open up that tactical toolkit. We're about to break down the absolute core techniques from Chris Voss's legendary book, Never Split the Difference. And we're going to run each one through our 4-step master framework.
First things first, you have to get this rule burned into your brain. When you communicate, your actual words, the things you're so carefully choosing, they only account for a tiny 7% of your impact. A massive 38% is your tone of voice, and the rest, 55%, is body language. What does that mean? It means how you say something is infinitely more important than what you say.
Okay, tool number 1 is mirroring. It sounds way too simple to work, but it's like a Jedi mind trick. You just repeat the last 1 to 3 critical words the other person just said. It builds an incredible subconscious bond. Our second tool is labeling. This is how you diffuse a bomb. You just name the emotion you're sensing. You say, it seems like you're feeling frustrated about this. The moment you name a negative emotion, you drain it of its power.
Now, let's talk about that crucial 38%, your tone. You need to adopt what Voss calls the late-night FM DJ voice. Notice how my voice gets calmer, lower, and at the end of a sentence, it goes down, not up. This vocal pattern is literally a neurohack. It triggers a feeling of safety and trust in the other person's brain, calming them down before you even make your point.
This next one is a total game changer. Stop asking why questions. All why does is make people defensive. Instead, start using calibrated questions that begin with how or what. If someone gives you an offer you can't accept, don't say, why would you offer that? Ask, how am I supposed to do that? You see the difference? It doesn't attack them. It invites them to solve your problem, which brilliantly gives them the illusion of being in control.
You know, for decades, everyone in negotiation thought the goal was to get the other person to say yes. But the FBI discovered something incredible. Yes is often totally meaningless. The real breakthrough, the moment you gain actual influence, happens when you hear 2 completely different words.
Just look at this matrix. Yes is so often a trap. It's a way for people to say, leave me alone, or I'll agree to anything to get you to go away. It's a counterfeit coin. But that's right? That is pure gold. That's right is the sound of someone feeling completely and totally understood.
It means you've articulated their position, their feelings, maybe even better than they could have themselves. That's the moment the game changes.
So how do you get there? How do you earn that breakthrough? You climb this staircase. It all starts with active listening and just being silent. Then you use your tools. You mirror their words, you label their emotions, then you paraphrase what they've told you in your own words, and finally, you put it all together and summarize their entire worldview so perfectly that the only possible response they can give is, "That's right."
Look, I know this might feel like a lot, but the beauty of this system is that you can start putting it into action immediately, today. So here is your first very simple, very actionable mission.
Here it is. Don't try to master everything overnight. Just in your very next conversation, could be with a client, your boss, your partner, whoever, I want you to try to do just 3 things. Just once, mirror a few words they say, try to label one emotion you pick up on, and ask one calibrated how question. That's it. Just try those 3 things and see what happens.
And that really brings us to the most important point of all. It's time to shift your entire goal. Stop trying to win the argument. Stop trying to prove you're right. Focus all of your energy, all of your skill on deeply understanding the person across the table. Because when you win the understanding, the results, they just follow.
And that systematic approach we use today, the what, how, why, and when, that comes from the master framework developed by Sir Abid Ali Shahid. If breaking down complex ideas like this into a clear, actionable system is valuable for you, do us a favor and let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear what we should break down for you next.